Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dividend Growth Investing channel. If you're new to the channel, this is where we talk about everything dividend growth investing related, growing your passive income through dividend growth investing. If you're unfamiliar with the term dividend growth investing, it's by means of investing into wonderful businesses that have a strong competitive advantage, that have grown their dividend year over year. A great example of that would be McDonald's, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and so forth. But in today's video, I wanted to go in and I wanted to do an honest review of M1 Finance. Now, if you're unfamiliar with M1 Finance, what it is, it's an online brokerage account for free, commission-free, where you can invest into stocks and ETFs. As you can see here on the screen, it's actually much more. You can also have a borrowing account where you can have a line of credit with M1 Finance, and coming soon a checking account. But for the video today, I'm going to focus primarily on the investing aspects of M1 Finance and what you can do with that. Now, there's a ton of reviews on M1 Finance out there, on YouTube, and I think where this video is going to differentiate is I'm primarily focused on dividend growth and dividend growth investing. If that's your strategy, and if you want to, if that's something that interests you, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of value from this video in comparison to other reviews that are out there. All right, so M1 Finance, really brief. It's a free automated investing tool. They have a great app where you could do everything just from your smartphone. I personally use it for both. You can use it on your desktop, tablet, and smartphone. I think, and in this video, I'm going to break down the pros and the cons that come with M1 Finance from my perspective, and not so much on how I personally use it. I'm going to link a video in the description of a tutorial on how I actually use M1 Finance for my dividend growth investing strategy. And if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and take a look at it. But for this video, we're just going to focus primarily on the pros and some of the minor cons that come with M1 Finance compared to other brokerages out there. All right, so the number one thing that you're going to notice is, or the fundamental benefit of M1 Finance, in my opinion, in my particular circumstance where I'm not a millionaire. I work 40 hours a week, family, house, mortgage, all that good stuff. This is my preferred platform of choice, but I'm going to try to take an unbiased approach and break down what are some of the pros and maybe some of the cons, depending on who you are, what your strategy is, and where you're at in your journey to financial freedom, because that's why we invest, right, is so that we can become financially free. All right, so with M1 Finance, some of the fundamental pros. All right, now for me, what really captured my eye was the fractional shares. Being able to invest in fractional shares is just amazing. If you want to buy one share of McDonald's, you have to have the full share price. At other, for example, if you want to use another brokerage platform out there, with M1 Finance, you can invest into fractional shares, and you can actually receive dividends from your fractional shares. So pretty cool. It can be automated. You can automate the entire process after you've set it up, or you can continue to be hands-on through your pie allocation and how you set your targets. Okay. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar, M1 Finance uses the concept of a pie. Your pie is your portfolio. It's all based off of 100%, so you can have a portion dedicated to a specific pie. And we'll get into this in just a second, where I'll actually show you the different ways that you can build out your pies, which are pretty cool. But just in brief detail here. But with M1 Finance, you can purchase over 6,000 stocks and ETFs. So this is really powerful. You're not going to be purchasing penny stocks and cryptocurrency at the moment with M1 Finance. It's more publicly traded on the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, and your ETFs. Another pro of M1 Finance, as I mentioned about fractional shares, every single penny goes to work. So when you talk about reinvesting and investing your dividends, every single penny is going to be reinvested. So when you get a dividend, say McDonald's pays you a dividend, you're not able to buy, unless you, in some brokerages accounts you can, but in a lot you can't, where you have the drip where it automatically reinvests. With a lot of them you can't. And with M1 Finance, you can reinvest every single penny. And I'll show that here in a few minutes. Okay, so this is your pie. The next thing that I wanted to go over is just, this is not your average brokerage account. And it's completely commission free. You have automatic rebalancing. So in traditional accounts, you can rebalance your account. That's causing a taxable event. So you're selling off your overweighted shares and you're reallocating them, redistributing them into your underweighted allocation, your target allocations. It's completely free. I think it's incredibly intuitive. The app on the phone, on the desktop. And one thing that I definitely want to highlight is the customer experience. The customer experience of M1 Finance is just flawless. It's super easy to use, intuitive. You can pick it up within minutes. And that's something that's really resonated with me. If you want to sign up with an account with M1 Finance, you can get started for just $100. You can set up your account for free, but to fund your account, you have to fund it for at least $100, and then you can get the ball rolling. Also, a major pro of M1 Finance is you can do the same with your Roth IRA account. Other brokerages in this similar category, commission-free, do not offer an IRA account. With M1 Finance, you can. The only difference there is you're going to have a $500 minimum to start investing in your Roth IRA through M1 Finance. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the platform. This is my portfolio, what you're seeing here on your screen. Once again, how I mentioned with your pies, and coming back to the rebalancing, I think this is incredibly important. This is what really interested me, because when it comes time for tax season, it's a complete nightmare if you're continually causing a taxable event. And with M1 Finance, it automatically reinvests and rebalances into your target allocation. So unless I'm manually clicking rebalance, I'm not causing a taxable event. Okay, so another thing that is a fundamental benefit of M1 Finance is it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a new investor, you're a professional, or wherever you're at, there's going to be something for you at M1 Finance. Now let's say, for example, you just open up your account. By the way, if you're transferring your account, that's another pro that I have for M1 Finance. You can see this little jump here. I transferred a portion of my Robinhood account into M1 Finance, and that experience was just flawless. I sent an email to transfers at M1 Finance, told them exactly what I wanted to do, and they got it done for me. It was unbelievable. And within a day, I got a response. I think it was within 2 or 3 days. It was all transferred over. Absolutely phenomenal. Great customer experience. So I really enjoyed that piece of it. But coming back to what I was talking about, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey here. If you're just starting out, like you're in your early 20s or you're 18, 19, and you got your first job, and you're not sure what you should do, and maybe you don't have a friend or a parent or somebody that you trust or know that to give you professional advice or for investing. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is something that I find very beneficial, especially when you're just getting started, are these expert pies. These are your pies. They're set through M1 Finance, guidance, advice or suggestions that you can take a look at. So for example, if you just want general investing advice, it also bases it based off of your risk tolerance. So if you're really conservative, you're scared that there's going to be another recession tomorrow, there's something there for you. Or if you're ultra aggressive, you're like, okay, I'm not going to be retiring, I'm not going to need this money for years to come, you can go incredibly, more risky, okay? And this is, some of the examples that they have in their expert pies. These here, for example, are ETFs, and so forth. So also, if you're more income centric, you want to just be more focused on dividend, you can, for example, look into a domestic or a global dividend. Here, the global or the domestic dividend, also ETFs here. Great feature that comes with M1 Finance. Okay, so the next thing is that I really like about it is your 360 60-degree view on your portfolio, where you're at, and this kind of being your dashboard of how you can manage it. It's incredibly intuitive. Going in and building out your individual pies, you're editing them. It's super easy. If you wanted to change the allocation, you can do that within the platform itself. I really am I'm a big fan of that. So I think with the fractional shares, with the expert pies, with the dividend reinvesting, and this is what I wanted to show with those fractional shares here, when you're getting a dividend paid out, you can see here the deposits that you're making, as well as that every cent that you're getting paid, these are being reallocated and reinvested for you based off of your target allocation. So with this, with my deposit of $50 and my dividends of $8.91, I was able to buy fractional shares in all these wonderful businesses. Okay, so those are some of the pros of M1 Finance. It's super easy to use, but there's some cons depending on who you are. I think the number one con for most investors is this is not a trading platform. This is an investing platform. So they have, if you're looking to actively trade through your brokerage account, this is not going to be the platform of choice for you, in my opinion. They have currently at the moment, you can trade. They trade once a day. They have a window. It's in the morning. They do it every single day. And that's also in part how they keep the fees so low or non-existent. That's how they keep their costs down. They remain profitable. And I think if you're looking to trade stocks and actively trade, another platform is going to be probably more beneficial for you. And I think if you're looking to really do heavy research through your brokerage account, this is probably not going to be the best choice for you. The research options on M1 Finance, I think that's a little bit lackluster. There's not as many opportunities here to really research into the different companies and do your market research. All right. I think, with that in mind, in my opinion, with M1 Finance, the fractional share investing and the commission-free exchange of equities and ETFs make M1 Finance by far the most advanced platform, especially as a dividend growth investor, looking at this with a long-term strategy. If your goal is growing passive income through dividend reinvesting, growth investing, then M1 Finance is probably going to be a great option for you. And the thing that I love about M1 Finance is M1 Finance today is quite different than it was a year ago. The different functionality they've come out with is just it's remarkable. Now, if you've come across a large stash of cash, or you have if you're looking to just make one initial purchase into one M1 Finance and just let it sit there, that's not going to be a bad option for you. But I think M1 Finance is ideal for those that are living, paycheck to paycheck. They're looking to fund their account either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even daily. I think M1 Finance is going to be a great option for you. But there you have it, everybody. This is my honest review of M1 Finance. Like I said, I'm an absolute fan. I love it. I absolutely love the platform. And if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.